Lion's toe and so on. Excellent, really good, world-class winger.
Well, there's a fire alarm or some sort of bells ringing all around the ground, and Japan will hope that the alarm is not for them if this goes over, because it'll stretch the lead. Silao Laenga, not much of an approach to the ball, but he's given it a good hit and he's gone in off the upright. So the alarm bells may be ringing for Japan as Laenga puts over his third penalty, and he now has a personal tally of 16 points.
Lovely strike there from Laenga. Didn't try to hit it too hard, stroked the ball nicely, considering he was against the teeth of the wind as well. Didn't try to put too much effort into it, and just kept his rhythm.
Leota for Samoa. The Samoan supporters singing in the stand below us here as Lama Tone takes it on. So'oialo to Junior Paramore. Remember that try that Junior Paramore scored against Australia in the qualifying matches when he rounded Joe Roth, the Australian three-quarter. Look at these boys, they're enjoying it. Not that cold really, Ian? Say you in your big coat.
I have 6 layers of clothes on at the moment and I'm still cold. There's a guy there in a t-shirt.
And supporters for Japan. Junior Paramore up high, but it's now with Jamie Joseph. Thumped by Leota. What a collision that was. Graham Bishop, Hirose, Motoki. Too congested in midfield. The Samoan tackling is good. It's firm. Bishop again. Motoki. Is it too long? No, it's not. It's a very good kick. Yukio Motoki, the 28-year-old centre, he played in the '95 World Cup using all his experience.
Yeah, Motoki taking a leaf out of Stephen Bishop's kicks in the first half for Samoa, really pinning Samoa back on their own line. Lovely, inch-perfect kick.
Leota with the throw for Samoa. And he finds his man, Lama Tone. Plays for counties in New Zealand. He's based there. He's 6'8". He's a big target in the Samoan lineup. And that's well driven by Samoa. Stephen So'oialo, another of the New Zealand-based players for Samoa. He's based in Wellington, plays for Western Suburbs. Just 22 years of age. He's a real live wire scrum half. Interesting there, we can hear the referee, and he's telling the Japanese players, make sure that you get your lifting right at the line out, on the shorts, not on the legs.
As long as he's consistent, there's not a problem. As long as he's consistent with both sides, and he interprets the rule as such, then it's fine. Sides will get used to that.
It was Watanabe at the front of the line out who won the ball. It's inside Samoa's 22. That's good mauling work by Japan. Hirose, what's on here? I'll tell you what's on. It's Stringamala doing his impression of a brick wall. And it was Masur who ran into it. Here we go now with So'oialo. He's quick. Over the halfway line. Samoa looking for quick ball. So'oialo. Stephen Bishop. That's Junior Paramore. Bringing in Stringamala. Stringamala is through. Looks for support now, and he's found it from Craig Glendinning, and the referee has given a forward pass. The best movement of the match. And it was only marginally forward.
Very disappointing now. There's a flow-in try started by Stringamala's magnificent tackle on the Japanese winger. And then he found his way back into the movement again, but the referee blew up the forward pass. But that would have been one of the tries of the championship, I think. It's
on the Japanese 22, picked up by Joseph at the second attempt, and Graham Bishop slips, but it could still be on. Kicked away by Watanabe. Back goes Afato So'oialo. He's got a boxer tricks. One of them is to kick it downfield, straight to Graham Bishop. Can Japan counter-attack from here? To'o Vaenga goes back, but it goes into touch. People in Wales will remember this man, To'o Vaenga, wearing 13 for Samoa. Scored the crucial match-winning try against Wales, captained by Ian Evans in the '91 World Cup.
You really need you to get that in there.
I want to warm you up.
Yeah, Japanese line out on their own throw, only winning just over half the ball. But again, in conditions like this, it's to be expected in lots of respects.
Sini Ta'ala won it at the front of the line out for Samoa. That's the Samoan 22, and Samoa just walking this out of their own defensive zone. It's good play, hours and hours on the practice round. Leota fed it back, a little kick through by Bishop. McCormick can't hold it. It's all fingers and thumbs. But Japan can win it from here. Bishop, Hirose, there are men over here. Motoke, Ohata stops and starts again. Is there something on here? It could have been. It was Tuindrake, the substitute on. He couldn't collect the ball. Japan needed it badly. They would dearly have loved to have scored there.
Unlucky there. Ohata originally overrun his inside player, which then when he had to check back inside. If he'd have held his depth to begin with, he probably would have scored the corner.
Daisuke Ohata takes his position quite deep now, because it's Samoa's put into the scrummage. This is Lima. That's Ohata. Deep in defensive position. He's done well. Now it's a 2-1. Ohata on his own. He's weaving his way through. What a great run by the Japanese right winger. Crowd enjoyed that. It's still on for Japan. Motoke. They could score here. Tuindrake. Great tackle. A fabulous tackle going in by Afato So'oalo. Japan still attacking. They mustn't lose the momentum here. Thundering tackles going in by Samoa. And it's going to be a penalty, offside against Samoa. The game has picked up a gear now.
That was a magnificent try-saving tackle by So'oala in the corner there. The try looked odds on. But I think Samoa are falling in the same trap as Japan did in the first half, kicking the ball away aimlessly. Pat landed earlier on. There really is no need for it, but a flow-in move by Japan, finding the outside man. And I think a try was obviously on, but again, magnificent cover tackle.
Afato So'oalo, the tackler. And that was Watanabe, stopped half a yard short of the line. And not surprisingly, a couple of injuries. That's the Samoan fullback, Selau Laenga, 16 points to his name, as Samoa lead Japan by 21 points to 6. Japan won the last match between these two in the Pacific Rim Championship, courtesy of a last-minute try by Jamie Joseph. But Japan really do need to score here, and they've opted for the kick at goal.
Very proud moment for that Japan, winning the Pacific Rim Championships against some quality opposition, and they've come an awful long way in a very short period of time, really. And I think the input from the New Zealand players has been of vast importance to their game.
Keiji Hirose. And he's kicked it well. He has learned to cope with this pretty nasty wind around the racecourse, and that's his third penalty, and it narrows the gap. It's 21 points to 9. Japan trail.
As he's about to kick that ball, you can see the post swaying wildly, but he kept his concentration and slotted through the middle.
But there'll be more confidence now in the Japanese side with that rush at the Samoan goal line. Bit of a mix-up there. Down on the ball goes Brian Lima. Junior Paramore, Trevor Lauder. So'o Ialo, Stephen Bashop. It's high, and this could be very awkward for Japan to defend. Back with Watanabe. He's on his own. He's got the whole length of the Samoan half to go. Couldn't do it. Now, Stephen Bashop, and Samoa could score from here. Pat Lam brings in Leanga. Leanga, the fullback, still there, and the pass goes to ground. Well, opportunities are coming for both sides as the game opens up in this second half.
Game very much has opened up in the second half, and again, there are chances of both sides there. Leanga possibly been a little bit greedy there, but the opening came via a top tackle by the scrum half season so I had to begin with. But again, Leanga perhaps guilty of being a little bit too greedy there and going for glory.
Big game this man has had, the fullback, Leanga. Kunda throws, Watanabe collects. He's been fairly prominent in the line-out, at the front of the line-out, jumping at 2. Graham Bashop waits, feeds Hirose. That's a long kick by the outside half. Not intended for touch, just to put it downfield. Now it's up to Samoa to use it. This is Afato So'oalo, and it skews off the outside of his boot. Picked up by Hasegawa, the prop forward. Inside Samoa's 22. They've got to regroup here. Motoki, the live wire centre for Japan. It's the 22-yard line, 22-metre line. McCormick, the captain for Japan. Still with Japan, Joseph. He needs to use his bulk. Takes Japan another couple of metres forward. Hirose. Motoki again. They're just running into a blue wall at the moment, but still it's with Japan. Nice little flick back by Graham Bashop. McCormick trying to bob his way through, taken down by Paramore. They've made good yardage though. Still with Japan. Desperate defending this by Samoa. Joseph again for the third time in the move. What can Japan do here? This is Masuo. He's a half a metre short, and still the tackles go in. Japan have found a new confidence in this second half, and it's bringing them closer to that Samoan goal line.
Good period of sustained pressure here by Japan, but they do seem to be committing an awful lot of people to the breakdown, and they're running short of runners behind. But again, everyone, they're all driving along as individuals rather than in 2s and 3s, and sometimes they need to just sit back and reorganise and sort of get a bit of a structure, because there's no pattern to the game at the moment, especially from where Japan's concerned.
It's all going through the middle, isn't it? And there's no one out wide, and it's okay to see somebody like Jamie Joseph running down the middle and barging, or trying to barge holes through, but when it does break down, there are fewer options out wide.
Very much so. On one or two occasions there at the breakdown, there were 8 or 9 people in there, 8 or 9 Japanese players, while there was only 2 or 3 Samoans. So, you know, sometimes they need to just sit back and someone needs to take hold, especially the outside half. Hirose, if you can just stand back and take a bigger look at the larger picture, if you say.
That's an interesting statistic. The scrum is good, and Japan peeling off the back of the scrum. It's a penalty though against Japan. The tackle was made, the ball was not released. And that is a crucial loss of possession for the Japanese. Jamie Joseph it was who picked up, and he was so frustratingly close and held onto the ball after the tackle. Very close,
but good defence by Samoa, and they'd be very pleased to have got the penalty there, clear the lines and give themselves a little bit more time.
A couple of Samoan replacements warming up, if you can use the word warming up on a day like this. Still bitterly cold. All sorts of shenanigans going on in the line-out, but it's won by Sini Ta'ala inside the Samoan 22. Samoa leading 21-9. Ta'ala again. Picked up by Paramore.